You got a friend in me. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not trying to get copyrighted. It's so hard to get people to do anything in America. It's so hard to meet people. It's so hard to go out, hang out, and stay in touch. We're all busy. We all got lives. Anytime you try to organize or coordinate any kind of plan, it's like completing objectives for a side quest to get all your friends outside the house.
I guess as far as kind of what kind of friend I am, I would like to think that I'm a good friend. I about to do a spit take. Actually, why are you laughing, man? You don't think I'm a good friend?
We'll get to that.
Okay. Hey friends, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Nick.
And you're listening to the Twisdom Podcast, where you're typical twins talking about mental wellness.
And getting better every day. You probably don't keep up with like streamers and whatnot.
Nope.
She's not with the time. She's not a Gen Z. There's a streamer named Sneeko who's very controversial. Whether you agree with him or not, a lot of what he says, I personally don't care for what he has to say, but like recently a whole bunch of like streamers have been ripping off this disabled streamer called Jake Future. And they've been, you know, going around getting a lot of popularity because they've been hanging out with him and getting to do like weird stuff and crazy stuff. And it seemed like kind of taking advantage of his disability to get more fame. And then when it comes time for his birthday, Jake Future, the disabled individual, he invited all his streamer friends, every one of them. And only one person showed up, and it was Sneeko. Every one of the people he invited to his birthday party, only one person showed up, and it was Sneeko. So imagine you got all these super popular streamers around you using you for your content. You're disabled, and but you think they're your best friends, right? Because the way you see them in the streams, it's like they're buddy buddy. But in the end, I'm just watching this video, this recap, and it just shows Sneeko. He's the only one that showed up. Jake Future basically texted everybody that was there. He sent all the streamers the same like birthday flyer or whatnot, and only Sneeko showed up. I was like, that's crazy, bro. And it was just highlighting like how the industry is fake and how like friendship really isn't what it seems. And I'm just like, man, and that's just random because like I know we were talking about this subject for a while of like what does it take to be a good friend, but recently I don't know. I've been going through a lot of like relationships troubles with just like friends in general, and I don't know if it's just different for me, different for our generation, because a lot of people talk about our generations deal with a loneliness epidemic. And it seems like it's harder to make new friends nowadays, to keep friends. I mean, we all got long lost friends from childhood, right? That we haven't hit up in a while. We got friends that we met on vacation at a bar somewhere. We probably will never see again, but it's cool because we got their Insta, and we'll probably never look at their Insta ever again. And then we got our close circle of friends whose drama makes everything feel like one nice round circle, but in reality is more like a bunch of Venn diagrams spread out and stacked on top of each other. So I don't know, like, is it safe to say it is harder to be a good friend in this day and time? Like, I'll be the first to admit right off the bat, I'm good at making friends, I'm just not good at keeping friends. Basically, like, when I get someone an Instagram recommended me to follow, I just scroll through Instagram. You see the people recommended list of people who should follow, right? And among those are a few faces you probably recognize, people you haven't seen in a while. And I see a couple of faces that I'm like, dang, I haven't seen them in a while. And I'm flipping through my phone. I'm like, I could have easily just hit the follow button, but somehow my anxiety of figuring out what I'll have to say to them after I follow them, it just prevents me from doing it because I don't want to face those consequences. You're like, hey, come out of the blue just following someone. It's weird, right? If that's not weird, then good for you because hey, you're doing better than me.
I don't know if I've
But
ever
like,
thought about that. Like, if I follow somebody, what am I gonna say? I just follow people. Sometimes I just don't say anything.
That's crazy. Couldn't be me. I leave it up to fate. I'm like, man, yeah, I'll probably talk to you a little later, bro. I don't even know when our high school reunion is, but I mean, am I gonna go? Probably not.
Wait,
That's
how many?
just-
How many years? We got about 2
Is
more
it like every
years.
10? It's just like 10 or 15. I can't
I think it's
remember.
10. So we got 2 more
Dude,
years, and then it'll be high school reunion time.
I'll be ducking that. Don't worry. You go by yourself. And then the other day, just speaking of like old friends, I was scrolling through Instagram again, and I noticed on my profile I was like a follower short, and I was like, okay, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But me being curious,
Scroll
I had
through
to
and
scroll and
see,
see,
yeah.
I had to analyze, cross reference, see what's going on,
Who did I
and
usually look at? But then I don't see them right now.
exactly, and I was like, man, I should be petty, but I looked anyway. And guess who it was?
Who?
It was that one chick I met in Japan, and I was, like, so upset because like, it seemed like, we really hit it off. I was rizzing people up in Japanese in Japan, bro. I
What'd
learned
you say? What'd you
Japanese.
say?
Bruh, I said, "Nata no kami wa, kirei desu," and I said, like, "Your eyes remind me of, like, the stars, the night sky." I was like, "Anata
Snaps!
no me wa, yoru no hoshi ga yoni something." I don't know. I was killing it, bro. I was killing it. I did a lot of work, bro. I thought we really hit it off. No, 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 no. And after, like, a couple years, I was like, oh, let me backtrack. We didn't have enough time because I was going back to Tokyo, and I was like, bro, I don't have time because it was our last day, and I was like, dang, bro, we probably never gonna see each other again. But I promised I'd come back. Like I said, okay, bro, like we'll come back. It was like 2 years later, and I kept learning Japanese. Every now and then I kept liking some of her posts, not all of them. I don't be on Instagram like that. I thought we were still cool, bro. I was like, dang, I thought we really hit it off, and I was like, bro, I was coming back. I was coming back,
He was
and
coming back.
bruh, and she unfollowed me. I was like, dang, bruh. And so I hit you up,
No.
bruh. You remember that? And
Yeah.
it's like,
I'm pretending like I don't know, but I do.
fake, man. So I hit Tiff up and I'm like, what should I do? Should I unfollow her? Like, what does it mean? What does it mean when a friend unfollows you like that? What should I do? What if it's a girl? Like, and she was like, long story short, you do you. She left me to my own devices. And I'll be honest, bro, I'm petty, bro. At the end of the day, I could be petty. So I unfollowed her too.
I feel
And
like
that
we've
was
all
that.
been there. We've all been there.
It's crazy. Oh, okay. Lastly, talk about friends and long distance relationships. That's in Japan. That's like 6,000 miles away. I can't even keep friends in America, bruh. I swear, in America, it's just hard because everybody's lives are so busy. Everyone's so spread out across the country. Even people 30 minutes away,
Mm,
that's a drive for them, right?
mm,
And anytime you try to organize or coordinate any kind of plan, it's like completing objectives for a side quest
mm,
to get all your friends outside the house.
mm.
Step one is communicate in the group chat. Step two, win over everybody separately in the DMs. Step three, when the plan finally makes it out of the group chat, now you gotta figure out how everyone's gonna get there. Step four, challenge your homie's girlfriend in order for him to free himself from the domain of his house.
Mm.
Like, it's so hard to get people to do anything in America. It's so hard to meet people. It's so hard to go out, hang out, and stay in touch. We're all busy. We all got lives. Now, the silver lining is we do have things like voice chat nowadays, like Discord, which does make it easier for us to keep in touch. And that really got us through the pandemic. But now that's become the new hangout spot. That's the new like third spot, like the social spot where we can hang out, and it still doesn't replace like the in-person like the in-person interaction, I guess. And it just doesn't supplement to me what it seems like being a good friend. Like, yeah, I can talk to you on the phone, but it's like if I don't get to see you every now and then, it's like, are you really, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Like, all that to say, all of my experiences, all of my struggles, bro. I don't know, y'all are struggling too, because now it just seems like everyone just has fewer and fewer friends in their circle. Like, what are we doing wrong? I know I'm complaining that it's hard to make friends because I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know me. I'm lazy. I'm petty. And sometimes, bruh, I just be tired. I don't got the energy. But what do I need to do? What do we need to do to be a better friend? Um, yeah, I don't know. But before we answer that question, I do want to preface it with our different kind of personality types because my answer is probably going to be way different than your answer. So, starting out of how to be a good friend, what kind of friend are you, Tiff? And what's your personality as a friend, and what do you look for as a friend? Tell me more about you and what your stance on this is.
I got you. I got you. Okay, so my I feel like we are complete opposite people, but my personality is, super outgoing, very bubbly. I like making friends. I'm super friendly. Like I'll go up to random people who I see like on the bus or just walking
She
down
will.
the street. I'll give them compliments or something, um, or like ask, "Hey, where do you get your hair done?" But yeah, I would say that I'm more extroverted than I am introverted. But if there was a scale of introvert to extrovert, I would say I'm kind of in the middle, but closer, a little bit closer to extrovert. Because, sometimes I'm not going to lie, I like my alone time and I'm like, nobody bother me. But I feel like in general, I get my energy from talking to people, being with people, um, and that. Yeah, I guess as far as kind of what kind of friend I am, I would like to think that I'm a good friend. I about to do a spit take.
I was choked.
um, actually, why are you laughing at, man? You don't think I'm a good friend?
We'll get to
Okay,
that.
okay. Dang it! Now I'm afraid to talk now. Jeez. Well, I guess I would say I think I'm a good friend. I try to be as intentional as possible, checking in with friends at least once a month. I guess like close circle friends at least once a month. Um, I like to give my friends gifts, just random gifts. So I'll just send that in the mail every now and then. Um, yeah, I really want to celebrate the highs and I want to be there with them for the lows. So I guess that's how I would describe myself as a friend. But yeah, I'm gonna reverse Uno card that question back to you.
Reverse, reverse. Ooh, this is gonna be funny because I want your opinion on me as a friend. I'm gonna give my opinion on you as a friend.
Okay.
So the way I see it, if I don't text you in like 6 months, bruh, and I send you a funny Instagram reel, or I send you um like an event that you might be interested in, you know, we're still cool, bruh. Like that's how I don't have to constantly text you every day, ask you how your day's going. I don't have to check up on you so much, bro. If you're going through it, just know I'm gonna be on the sidelines, but I'm gonna still be rooting for you. Like I don't necessarily have to get too close in your space, kind of thing, because I know we all going through stuff, and But if you want me there, I will be there, and I will fight for you, bruh. Like I will be there. But most of the time, I am very much introverted. I stay in my house more, bro. Like, I don't know if that's because of COVID. I don't even know. That's just how I am. I don't know. I have a very low social battery. Like, I store it for like the weekends and I go crazy. I'm like a intro extrovert. Once you put me in the right social settings, I go crazy. But after that, I'm in my shell.
Mm.
Um, and as far as like long distance friendships, as far as like maintaining friendships, like I said, I I try to like hit people up every now and then. There's friends I haven't talked to in a couple years, but like they'll send me something funny on YouTube or Reels or something, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing, bro?" Like, and that's that. We talk for like maybe 3 text messages,
Three
and
real
then that's it.
exchanges.
That's it, yeah. And I'd be like, okay, see you in another 2 years. And I'm like, that's how it is. But with my closer circle, um, I try to be, more attentive. I try to be more, uh what's the word? Involved, I guess. Like if you have a problem, come bring it to me. Like, if you have something y'all want to do this weekend, come bring it to me. I'm not the one that's usually like raising my hand first, or I'm not like the one that tries to like organize everything anymore because that's a headache. But you know, if I don't hear from you in a couple weeks, we haven't hung out. That doesn't mean I hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like we still cool. It's just I just be in my own world. But I don't know. What is it? Is that what it seems like to you?
Yeah, no, literally, yeah, you described yourself perfectly.
Dang.
Because I feel like, I mean, I mean, we're friends, but we're also twins. So I feel like our dynamic is different than like your dynamic with your friends. But I would say that, yeah, you are pretty introverted, but you enjoy spending time with your friends every now and then. And I would say, from what you tell me, you're one, like the one in the group chat that reaches out a good bit and tries to make plans, try to set up the time, the location. Sometimes most of the time, it doesn't really fall through, but at
Most
least
of
you
the
put in the
time.
effort.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's how I am. Like I'm very low key. Like I'm a very big supporter when you need me, but like otherwise, you pretty much have to come find me. Like that's
That
the sad
part,
part.
yes, very true.
Yeah. But no, I don't care how far I'm away. We still be homies, bro. Like I'll travel halfway across the world just to hang out with y'all like if I can and if y'all really need me. Like that's what I'm saying. So, I don't know. But for you, I mean, you gave like a watered down version. I feel like yourself. You flatter yourself too much. This Tiffany will literally make you goodwill get well soon cards, gift baskets, and make you some homemade African ginger tea. When you're feeling sick or you got a small cold, she'll hand deliver it to you to your doorstep. She'll go in the rain, travel through any kind of any kind of weather just to make sure that you feel loved. And that's just the kind of person you are. And you've always been like that, which is great because you're like the crux of any good friend group. Honestly, you're like
I'm about to
like
cry,
this. Don't get too happy about because I got something else to say. I got more to say. You like the crux of every friend group, and that's great. But sometimes you do be doing too much, bro. Like I asked you the other day, like, what is it? I said I got a friend who I want to hit up, but it's been like a couple years. How do you hit up long lost friends, and what do you usually say? And you gave me the most girliest, most like over the top answer. Like, here's what you said. You gave me a couple options. This one stuck out to me the most. Hey, life has been hectic lately, and I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner. How are you doing? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just dudes. We don't do stuff like that, bro. We don't be like, hey, I was just thinking about you. Wanted to check in to see how you're doing. I mean, I don't know any guys that are doing that, but like I can't do that. Like I'm not gonna hit up. So I haven't seen you in 2 or 3 years and be like, hey, you doing well? I'll just be like, yo, you see this on Instagram? Like, I don't know how you do it. Like, you are always putting everyone else above yourself. But I've seen it also wear down on you too, bro. Like
Mhm.
you're above and beyond the friend that everyone needs, but it also costs you your own social battery and drains you. So it's like you're a good friend, but are you a good friend to yourself kind of thing? Like
Mhm.
you be doing the most. I don't know. Like this is like the two ends of the spectrum
Extremes,
of
yeah.
like, yeah, honestly, of what it means to be a good friend. This I I don't know.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear you on all those things. And I feel like over the years, I have learned to not necessarily put myself first, but listen to my needs, listen to myself and what I need, and hold space for my feelings, my energy, my desire, my motivation. So, definitely have been stronger in my boundaries over the years, especially since I started my adult job because, work takes a lot out of me. And so sometimes I come home, I'll be like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to do nothing. Nobody send me a text. I'm not going to respond to the next day.
Be like that.
Yeah, sometimes it do be like that. But yeah, I'm working on it. But I just really think of friendship as a gift, and I want to offer that love and comfort to other people, but I also want other people to offer that love and comfort to me. So I wanted to ask, how do you conceptualize what a good friend is? Like, what is your idea of a good friend?
Mm, that's a good question. And of course, it's going to be different for everybody, case by case. How I define a good friend is, I guess, three things: is being supportive when I need you to,
Hmm.
being available when you can,
Hmm. Keep key on when you
and
can.
when
Yes.
you can, that's what I'm saying. And then third, just have some understanding. Like we all have our nuances, our like pet peeves and stuff. Just be understanding and know when to compromise and know when to like challenge each other on stuff because we all got to make each other better.
Yeah.
I guess that's the easiest way I could define it, but that seems kind of simple. I don't know. What do you define a good friend as?
Yeah. I would say a good friend is somebody who's loyal. So somebody who you can count on, somebody who won't stab you in the back, somebody who, if you're if you're in the water trying to swim, won't push your head underwater and make you drown. A good friend is somebody who will shout your name in a room full of opportunities. I love that saying. Somebody who celebrates your wins with you, and somebody who is there for you to comfort you in the losses of life. I would say a good friend is somebody who is intentional. Intentionality is such a key piece in friendship to me because, yeah, I can reach out and reach out and reach out, but then it gets to a point where I'm always reaching out. So then why do I want to continue to reach out when the other person isn't putting in any effort? So just being intentional, and like a friendship goes both ways. It shouldn't be all one sided. And even if, because I know there's this topic is so complex because you got your in-person friends, you got your long distance friends, which you were talking about earlier, and I have like my best friend lives on the literal opposite side of the country, coast to coast, Washington. Where am I right now? North Carolina, and and so the way that she cares for me is just beyond me because she'll literally send me um, random gifts throughout the year and random cards. Like one time I got sick. I think it was back in it's either over the summer, and she sent me a card, a get well soon card, and she wrote a whole paragraph in that card. I'm like, dang girl, I'm just sick. I'm gonna get over this cold. But it was the intentionality, the thoughtfulness that really made my day, probably my week, honestly. And yeah, we text or call or FaceTime at least once a month. It's usually more than that. And if there are any updates, any big updates, we'll save it for a FaceTime. But if there are like smaller updates, we'll send a text. So I went on a whole long tangent of what a good friend or what defines a good friend. But I would say like she's like golden standard.
And again, like that's two very different ends of what we define a friend would be. And I guess what I found through that is your friend kind of mirrors you, your best friend at least,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Has the same characteristics, personality, and meets you at the same energy level of where you would meet her in terms of being a good friend.
Hmm.
and it's like you said, it's not one-sided,
Mhm.
and, a lot of times, every relationship can seem one-sided to the other person,
Yeah.
especially now more than ever. I mean,
Mm.
well, let's be honest, we're more individualistic
Exactly.
in today's society, we're more to ourselves, so, like, I get it, especially when you don't see someone that often, it's hard to, tell them what they're doing wrong or, like, what they're not doing, and with your long distance relationship with her, it's just unique because I don't wanna say y'all the same person, but it's just like y'all have the same understanding, I guess? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, we have, I guess, the same expectations for what a good friend looks like, and we try to live up to those expectations. And it's easy to
Mm.
do with her because she's the same does the same thing for me.
It still begs the question. I remember growing up, like, we were in elementary school, we're twins, right? So, we would
No,
have
for
some of the
real?
same
I'm
friends.
just kidding.
Are we? Are we though? But what I've learned over the years, all these years, is that we pick different parts of our selves and try to like meet each other halfway.
Mm.
We would have some of the same friends and it'd be a recess time and every now and then I would see Tiff alone and she would just be sad. And it is like, where are all her friends? And some days it would just be because someone was sick and they didn't show up, or some days it would just be because her two of her friends were fighting each other and Tiff didn't want to be in the middle of it. And so she would come to me and like, what are you doing, big brother? You want to hang out? And I'm like, bro, we over here playing like some stupid like dungeon game with the swing set and we fighting each other. Like, you can't play with us. I was like, oh guys, I'll see you later.
And
I
then
gotta
he
hang with
would
my
come
sister.
play with me, y'all. What a sweet big brother, even though we're like 30 minutes apart.
It was interesting just to see like the friendship dynamic even when we were young. And as twins, we off like bro, even when I moved out, like I wouldn't hit you up like every day,
Nah, yeah.
but I'm always there when you need support. You know, I'm always there when you want to hang out.
Mhm.
Like you could growing up, you could piss me off. I piss you off a lot of
Oh,
times.
yeah.
Now, when Tiff gets angry, it's a whole different kind of angry. Like they say the sleeping beasts, the most nicest people you'll find are suppressing the most potent rage. I promise you. Like I've only upset Tiff like 3 times.
I don't get upset that easily, y'all.
Ooh, I don't know. It's
No, I remember
crazy.
I remember one time I upset you. I think we were in the car, and I forgot what you did, but I, like, if my personality could be the personality of a dragon, that's how I would describe it. Like,
She was.
full
She
on
was clawing me and stuff.
explode.
She exploded. And I couldn't do nothing. I'm in a seatbelt in a car. So, so overall, we didn't really have that much. They didn't have many issues. Like we joke around, but like we are kind of each other's best friend when you think about it. And I'm thinking
From
like,
womb
how
to
does
tomb, from womb to tomb.
exactly? So how does that translate to how I could have been better friends to my like other friends?
Yeah.
I think the main thing we're getting at with how to be a good friend, at least, is just acceptance
Mhm.
of each other, sharing the traits that you want to see out of each other, like the
Mhm.
golden rule treat others the way
Exactly.
you be
Yep.
treated. And when it boils down to it, I feel like that's what friendship should be
Yeah.
like nothing more, nothing less.
Period.
I don't know. So I know you sent me this thing on Instagram. It's just
Wait,
like,
can I introduce it?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so there was this post that I came across on Instagram, and the thread is called Tips on How to Be a Better Friend. And these are such great actionable steps that she mentioned. And so, as we're getting into actionable steps, it's like, well, okay, now you've told me some things about friendship, but what do I need to do in order to be a good friend? And just some things that I pulled from what this thread said. And the thread was posted on November 9th, if you want to go back and check. But some key things from that are, one, respect your friends' boundaries. If they say, hey, I can't talk tonight, um, can we schedule a time to meet up in person? I really like to, hear what you have to say in person, then do that. Or if they have boundaries of, I don't like to talk past 8 p.m., then don't try to, I guess you could try to text them, but don't expect a response from them past 8 p.m. What else? And I guess another thing that I got from that is check in with your friends, please. Do it doesn't have to be often, like Nick said, it might be twice a year for him and his boys, but I know for me, for close friends, I want to try to do it once a month. Sometimes for friends that maybe aren't as close, maybe that would look like twice a year for you, or once a quarter for you. But just check in with them, see how life is going, ask for any updates. It's just being intentional with wanting to hear from them and recognizing that you want to maintain this friendship. So you have to reach out. But I'll say that sometimes sometimes that can backfire when you're the one that's always reaching out. That's not cool too. And so back to boundaries, you might set a boundary of, okay, I've reached out the last 10 times. I'm not going to reach out the next time. So that might be a boundary that you have to set because you want people who choose you. That's I feel like that's included in the golden rule. Choose people who choose you. Another thing is, don't taking your friends for granted. And something that I do that I don't know, I don't think it was listed in there, but something that I do occasionally is I'll ask my friends, "Hey, how can I be a better friend to you?" Or is there anything I could do to be a better friend to you? Sometimes they'll say, no, like there's no really nothing you could do. You're a great friend, which I love to hear that. But also, I'm open to feedback. I'm such a feedback person. Like at work and life, please give me feedback because if I don't have feedback, then I won't know. Like I won't know how my actions or words are coming across to the other person.
Those are some good actionable steps, honestly. And like I know a lot of them seem kind of over the top when it comes to someone like me. Like like social anxiety is like I don't want to go that far, but like don't think of it that way. Think of it if you're someone like me who's more introverted. Think of it like I said, just every now and then respond to their story on Instagram and then use that as the jumping point to ask them how they're doing or like how you been. I know it's been a minute. That kind of stuff. And it's not like you gotta be those anime type friendships like we stick together all in the name of friendship. We're gonna like I don't know take on the world in the name of like nah it ain't that serious. Like it really isn't. I know we all have our own lives, but I don't know. I guess nowadays this is easier said than done, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like the flip side of all this wonderful like friendship talk is that Gen Z has been cited as the loneliest generation of all time.
Mm,
And there's been factors caused by social media, COVID, which happened at a crucial time of a lot of our development as like young adults, as teens and whatnot. And there's this concept called the invisible audience. It's a term developed by David Elkin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's basically the belief that others are constantly focusing attention on us and scrutinizing our behaviors and appearances and stuff like that. And when you look at social media, cancel culture, cringe shaming, it's genuinely like hard to be yourself now. Like it's hard to even make friends without being someone you're not. I feel like because you're always gonna get chastised for doing
mm-hmm.
something too out of pocket, too extra.
Yeah.
They call it. We worry so much about what others think that we judge ourselves based on it, and we end up becoming a watered down version of ourselves to be friends with someone else, and then that causes us to not enjoy the friendship because we're sacrificing our wants and needs out of friendships for theirs. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, going back to that previous point, you got to pick and choose the compromising points from each side.
Yeah.
You can't be one sided. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're just trying to be friends with someone else, that you have to force yourself to be someone else.
Mm,
That's not really a friendship. That's one
mm-mm,
sided, right?
mm-hmm.
I know it's challenging to take all that on at once, but you gotta look at yourself too. it's really, like we said, it's the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Treat a friend the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a transfer of energy. Like, I have friends that I don't talk to for every 2 years, but as long as they're cool with me, just hitting them up every two
Yeah.
years, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they expect. That's great. It's that same level of effort, same level of energy. As long as we both agree, then that's great. It really is what it means to be a good friend, is just the understanding of each other. It really is about that same level of energy that y'all both give. And
Mm-hmm.
then low energy is not bad. It's just like what you said about the watering the plant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want to tell us more about that?
Exactly. Yeah. So this analogy that I was thinking of is friendship being a plant. Okay. So in order for a plant to grow, it's going to need that sunlight, it's going to need that water, and it's going to need to be in good soil. Okay. So you need that good foundation for a friendship. You need that, equal respect for each other. Okay. And then watering that friendship could look like, or watering that plant could look like, I'm going to check in this amount of times, or I'm going to check in whenever this person comes to mind. It could be, hey, I'm going to send a card in the mail. I love sending cards in the mail. I literally went to Dollar Tree and I got a stash of a whole bunch of random cards. And whenever I feel like it's an occasion to send one of the cards, I'll mail it. So if you want to hack, one of my coworkers actually gave me that idea. So I was like, yes, I love this idea. Anyways, watering that plant could look like sending cards. Watering that plant could look like, um, you know, I'm going to uh, try my best to visit this person, whatever that looks like for you. And then it's going to need that friendship, that plant is going to need that sunlight. It's going to need somebody who you feel better when you're around, okay? You don't need to have, well, let me not word it like that. It's not ideal to have friends who are always pessimistic, always complaining, because how does that make you feel? It doesn't make you feel good. You want the friends that feel like sunlight, sunshine. So, all these elements are basically being intentional. It's intentionality to help this plant, to help this friendship grow.
That's deep. I'm about to make it even crazier, bro. Think about it this way. Like you said, going off of that, yeah, that's how you maintain that good friendship. We talked about what it means to be a good friend. You know, it's that golden rule. We talked about the maintaining a good friendship, the maintenance, right? The watering, the good sunlight, the good positive energy when it needs it. Um, we can also talk about how to make friends and how you're going to lose friends every now and then,
Mm,
and knowing the
mm-hmm.
right amount of energy to give the right kind of plant, the right kind of friend.
You
Because I'm
cooking
from,
boy.
bro, I'm about to cook crazy. Listen, y'all know I'm from the South, so I know a lot about grass. There's Bermuda and fescue, right? And we know there's two different types. One does really well in the summer with the heat. The other one's more better for like year round kind of grass. Doesn't look as great as the other, but just like there's different types of plants that require different amounts of water, that's the same way that we make friends. We have different friends that require different amounts of emotional support, right? Different
Mm,
friends that want to be texted more. Your different types of people require different types of energy to be maintained as a good friend.
mm,
And if you have to water fescue more than Bermuda, fescue can survive better in cooler climates and more shade, right? Bermuda does better usually in the warmer, like summertime, right? Just like your friends, some people require more like constant attention, constant checking up on, but you just got to know everyone's type of like friendship model, And
mm,
just like when it comes to seeing new plants grow in your garden, plants come and go, right? The ones we spend the most time with are going to thrive longer, of course, and they're going to serve us better. The ones that go, it's okay. Friends come and go every
Mm-hmm.
now and then. You
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the time they had them, just like you enjoy that time that plant was there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you could always make new friends, and they're never lost. Like, that's the thing. Even if your plant dies next spring, it could come back. It could be a year. It could be 2 years. The seed's still there. You still got the soil and the foundation of the friendship. You just gotta, like you said, water it, give it more attention, more care.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we have to treat each other now. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, as long as we can know each other's friendship model, we'll know how to grow that friendship. We'll know how to treat it. Making new friends is hard. Believe me, it's hard for me with my social anxiety. But maybe we don't take everything so seriously. Maybe we don't have to have all those judgments in our back of our head. Because at the end of the day, we're all just a bunch of audience members, right? In that invisible audience. And we're all nervous and we're all worried about the same thing. So if you're thinking that you're nervous about trying to befriend the next person, they're probably just as nervous about what they're trying to say to you. It's okay to be ourselves, because in order to get a good friend, you have to know what you want. You have to know yourself first. You have to be a good
Mm-hmm.
friend to yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Once you understand your friendship model, what you need, you can bring the best out of someone else that you meet. And it might not be that friend that's super close to you. They might just be a long distance friend. That's great. We all have to have different kind of friends, all have to have different type of plans. But the point is, in order to be a good friend, you just got to understand your friendship model, understand what the friendship model you seek in everyone else, and how you can grow and maintain it. Know that friends can come and go. Know that if you want more out of a friendship, you got to supply more energy, you got to supply more to let it grow.
Mm-hmm. And
But
remember that you can't water a fake plant. If there's nothing there, or if you're being treated poorly, let that plant go. Could be a
bruh,
fake plant.
these that's a whole other topic for another day. Fake friends, bro. Oh, people, bro. We'll say that for another day.
Mm.
We'll say that for another day.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Well, this was another episode on the Twisdom Podcast. We thank you so much for listening. And yeah, we just really want to hear from you. If you have any thoughts about, what do you consider a good friend? How do you define a good friend? Anything you want to add? Any other questions, Nick?
Tell us your best backstabbing story. I want to see the most juicy. I'm just kidding. I want to see the most juiciest. Nah. But tell us about your experiences with friendship. Tell us the differences in where you live, your culture, how you view friendship differently. Let us know, because we want to have this debate. We might not have the best answer of what it means to be a good friend to you, like we said. But at the end of the day, that's up to you to find out.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. Well, thanks for listening. We hope to see y'all on the next episode.
You're